Hello guys, today I am about to show you one of the most mind-blowing attacking games ever played in chess history. This is Mikhail Tal, the magician, doing what he does best, sacrificing pieces like they are nothing and still creating unstoppable tactics. In this epic battle against Bukhuti Gurgenidze, Tal shows why he is the absolute king of calculation and chaos. Let's dive into this masterpiece and watch how Tal turns a simple position into pure magic. So the game begins with Bukhuti playing d4, Tal replies with knight f6, c4, and here Tal chooses one of his favorite openings, the sharp, aggressive Benoni Defense. Bukhuti doesn't accept the gambit, he just pushes forward. Tal offers an exchange, white defense, pawns get traded, and Tal plays d6, solidifying his center and opening the diagonal for his bishop. Now to most players, this position looks a bit uncomfortable for black. White has a strong central pawn. But Tal loved these positions. He thrived in chaos, and the Benoni always gave him creative attacking chances. White develops, Tal fianchettos, bishop e2, and both sides castle. Then Tal plays rook e8, eyeing the e4 pawn. White adds a defender and Tal brings in knight a6. Classic Tal idea. Jump to c7 and push the queenside pawns later. White goes rook e1, Tal plays knight c7 and White pushes a4 to stop the b5 break. Tal says no worries and plays b6, preparing a6-b5 later. If he played a6 first, White could play a5 and lock the pawn. So Tal does it in the correct order. White now plays queen to c2, pointing at the center. And here's the thing most people misunderstand about Tal. Everyone thinks he just goes sac, mate. But no, there is method in the madness. Tal was planning a queenside attack. But after queen c2, he instantly senses weakness on the king side. The rook is undefended, the king is slightly exposed. So Tal switches plans in 1 second and plays knight g4. If the queen was still on d1, White would capture instantly. But now, White has a big decision. Give up the bishop pair or allow Tal to continue building pressure. If I were playing Tal, I'd trade everything and run to an endgame. Because we all know, if Tal keeps pieces on the board, you are not surviving. But remember, this is 1957. No one fully understood how dangerous Tal was yet. So Bukhuti says, before your queen jumps in, let me play h3 and chase that knight back. But the moment he plays h3, he gets the shock of his life. Tal does not retreat. He plays the iconic, insane move, knight takes f2, a classic Tal sacrifice. White should not take, ever. But he takes anyway. And here comes queen h4 plus. And now the problem. Because the queen moved to c2 earlier, the rook on e1 is undefended. So the king is forced to step back to f1. g3 doesn't work. Tal would blow open the position and crush the king instantly. After king f1, Tal plays the deadly bishop d4 exclamation mark, threatening mate on f2. The position looks survivable, but in reality, White has only one move to stay alive, knight d1. Everything else loses on the spot. And just when you think the attack can't get crazier, Tal drops another bomb. Queen takes h3. It looks like a queen sacrifice, but if White captures, then bishop h3 is a picture-perfect Boden's mate. The two bishops slicing the board like scissors. If you enjoyed this unbelievable idea, smash that like button right now, because Tal's magic deserves it. Alright, so of course White cannot take the queen. And on top of that, Black is threatening queen h1 mate. So, Bukhuti goes for the only move that keeps the game alive, bishop f3, giving his king a tiny breathing square. But Tal steps in even deeper, now threatening queen g1 check. White tries to block the attack again with knight e3, interfering with the bishop and stopping the queen from delivering the knockout. But Tal is not slowing down. He wants to rip open the position. So he plays f5. If white captures the pawn, then bishop e3 and black is just completely winning. Bukhuti knows the knight is under heavy pressure, so he brings more defenders. Knight c4, adding 2 extra pieces to guard the knight. Tal says, alright, let's continue. Takes, takes, and then he hits with bishop a6. Another piece joins the attack, pinning the knight and increasing the fire. White pulls back his bishop to cover the f-file, trying to hold things together. But just look at this position. White's pieces are glued and suffocating. This knight is pinned. That knight is pinned because of the queen g1 mate threat. The bishop is stuck, protecting the king. Queen and rook have no active squares. White's army is literally frozen. And black, Tal's pieces are all attacking the king. This is a dream position for an attacker. And for Tal, it's paradise. And as if that wasn't enough, Tal doubles his rooks on the e-file, making the pressure absolutely unbearable. White tries bishop d2. And now, Tal brings in the last remaining piece, nx d5. Perfect coordination. Every piece is joining the attack one by one. White can't take with the knight because of queen h1 mate, so he's forced to capture with the bishop. It's a check, so Tal responds with rook d2. The knight still can't capture because the queen mates in 1, so white runs with king e2, trying to escape. Tal says, not today. He takes the knight, king e3, rook recaptures, and Tal immediately gobbles up the other knight too. It's check. And this is the moment Bukhuti resigns. Tal is already up 3 pawns, and if white tries to take with the queen, it's a forced mate in 2, just like this. Let's say, for example, white tries to retreat the knight back to d1. Then it goes takes, takes. It's a check. And after queen f2, white is completely paralyzed. Black simply follows up with bishop b3, and there are just too many threats crashing into the white king. Every escape square is gone, every defender is overloaded, and there's absolutely no counterplay left. That's why in the actual game, Bukhuti didn't even wait. He resigned right here, because the attack is unstoppable, and Tal's position is completely winning. Alright guys, that was pure Tal magic. If you enjoyed this masterpiece, make sure to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss more legendary games and deadly traps. Thanks for watching. Keep learning, keep improving, and I'll see you in the next one.